Particularly in Milwaukee, I think our neighborhoods are totally hungry for creative things to happen. It means they care about their community and they care about cool and fun and interesting and cultural things happening.
So as an artist is one way to be a creative. Obviously you make a dance, you write a book, you compose a song. And we also know that creatives are chefs and graphic designers and architects, and that mom who figured out how to get the baby to be quiet, and the dad who, and turns out all of us are creatives. So moving that into how do we then change the conversation about what creatives bring to a discussion, bring to a city, and then inviting them to think of a project. Think of a project that's relevant to a specific conversation, and expanded it to what are all of the things that all of us are impacted by. So it was water, fatherhood, food access, the impact of stories, the impact of our generations, and how to interact with young children with brain building. So people submitted their ideas on one thing they would do to launch this one conversation in a neighborhood.
I hope that this summer I'm able to spend some time on porches, talking to people about life lessons that they've learned.
I think that we can harness this force of turbulence in talking with students to think about, how do we interrupt the flow of what we see going on around us when that's something that we want to change.
Mine is like seeing the place, the poetry is kind of like hearing the place, and the dance is like feeling the place.
Got it, okay.
I was really mindful about how to build this thing. Being able to give people the space, the resources, the coaching and encouragement, and the time to imagine a project that they would want, that addresses a topic that they're interested in, that puts some money in their pocket for the skill set that they bring to a market was incredible.
But what I remember most was my Lapin project was very different than it is now. It's like family.
Artists can be magical people with lots of ideas, but they also need support, and I think it does really take a team of people to really help ideas get from in your brain or on paper to reality. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Part of how I approached the coaching was to really approach it like I was mentoring someone who wanted to do partnerships, and we knew that the creatives had a range of experience working with different neighborhoods.
It's you, Washington Park. You're the people of People's Park.
And I always thought Milwaukee was beautiful in its way, but I was able to see how beautiful it really was neighborhood by neighborhood. Everyone was so unique, but they all had a story to share, and it almost was as though they were waiting for the platform to be able to share it.
I think what I'm most looking forward to was inspired by the wrap-up event, where we talked about the impact on the neighborhoods through the perspective of the participants. So the creatives themselves brought different summaries to that event of how their work engaged the neighborhood and the impact that it began to have. I can't wait to see more of that.
So ultimately, I would love for people to just pause and reconsider the role that creativity plays. Like for people to pause and consider that creative person or that outright artist that's in their network and ask them their opinion about things. So these are people who happen to make things, and they vote, and we have families, and we have preferences, and we have some solutions. Having all of those perspectives at a table, or like for people to consider how broad their resources are. I want people to look at folks that you already know, and then tilt your head the other way and imagine how else they are amazing. So this is reframing a lot of things, reframing neighborhoods, reframing a work path, reframing the role of creativity, and it's reframing relationships. If nothing else, I hope that people will consider those elements of this project, and then of course, just consider it as a project. It should be something that goes on forever.